My name is Bobby Kim. I was born in Detroit, Michigan, raised in Brandon, Florida. Started working at a young age, 12 years old, single mom. And I know one thing, we all understand this, hard work pays off, right? We all gotta go to work. How many people work out of necessity? Everybody does, right? Great question. That's something important why someone shared something with you here today, And what we're going to cover here is not some sales pitch. There's no product that we're going to sell you guys. We're about to share information with you guys. And at the end of the day, when you leave this place, it's going to be a decision that you'll make, all right? And kind of give you a little bit of background really quick. I'm in the indoor air and water quality industry. I've been with the company called Healthy Home for about 6 years. And why I'm leading into this is because 5 years ago, a good friend of ours, Fred Graves, he's a Pro 9 in this company, and he reached out to Dave and I. And 5 years ago, I'll tell you why I didn't get involved 5 years ago is because it was network marketing. How many people has ever been involved in network marketing before? Right? How many people heard of it? We all have, right? So the reason why I said no, guys, in 2002, I just graduated high school in 2001. I was 19 years old, and I was introduced to this company, guys. Have you guys ever heard of Amway? I joined that company. And the reason why I joined that company, do people make money in network marketing, in those companies out there? Do people make money in those things?
Oh, yeah.
Sure they do, right? Who makes all the money in those companies? The people that get in first or the people that got in last?
First.
Was the opportunity greater at the beginning or is it greater at the end? Obviously it's at the beginning. Can you make money towards the end? Sure you can. It's just greater at the beginning, right? So when I got involved, I didn't understand I was 50 years late, right? I didn't know that company was around since 1959. These are key things that we don't really think about. We just get excited because someone's making money. We know someone's sister's brother's cousin's aunt's brother that's making money, and we just get excited, right? Well, this guy, Fred Graves, I went to school with, Dave's known since childhood. He reached out to me. And after my third time, guys, 2007 was my last one, how many people said that they'll never, ever, ever, ever do it again? That was me.
Yeah.
And that's why in 2007, I said I'll never do it again. And 2009, in November, I was his top 20 call. And he reached out to me and said, bro, I came across this business opportunity, you gotta check it out. I said, well, what is it? It's network marketing. I said, Fred, I'm not interested. Flat out, not interested. I didn't want to hear about the opportunity. I didn't want to hear about it because it was network marketing. 4 years goes by. Mind that I'm in Healthy Home for a year. I made good money, so it wasn't that. I wasn't looking for an opportunity. Because I was single at that time, no responsibility, really no responsibility. I had the basic bills, right? And 4 years goes by. Now, I just had my 3-year anniversary. I have 2 beautiful little girls, 2.5 and 1 years old, and things changed. And I kind of go back in how I was raised, single mom, little sister. I never see my mom because she was working 2 jobs. And now I'm in that same position. I see my girls from 6:30 in the morning until 9 o'clock in the morning. I leave, I get home at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, they're already in bed. So I see them in the morning, right? And that pattern just became something that I didn't want. And I don't think anybody wants that. But we have to work out a necessity, and that's why I asked you that question. We have to do what we have to do. So when Fred reached out to me, and I thank him every time I see him because 4 years goes by, and he sees on Facebook now that I'm married, I got 2 girls. He said, Bobby, you need to get with me. Look, I'm going to send you something, and I'm on the phone, and he sends me some picture mail while I'm on the phone, and it was this 1099. It was over $500,000. This is a kid that I went to school with, dropped out of high school at 16, went in the construction industry, right? Made his first million at 24. Most of us heard the story. Lost it all by his 27. And I remember he was renting a room from our good friend Todd Harris for $300. His girlfriend at that time is his wife now, Casey. They're renting a room from our friend. Okay? So why I'm telling you this, because we all know what happened in the construction industry back in 2001. It was booming. But we all know what happened in 2007. It went to crap, right? So I'm looking at him, someone that's never done network marketing. I've tried 3 times and failed miserably, but it wasn't because of me. There was key factors that I missed out that I wasn't educated on, and that's exactly what I'm going to do for you guys today. I'm not going to sell you on why you have to do this and why you got to look at this. No, I'm just going to share an opportunity based on what opportunity should look like. And then we're going to place this company called LifeVantage that someone shared with you today, and we're going to put it to the test to see is it worth your time and effort to even dab into. Okay? So what I'm going to go into here is that opportunity test. It looks like kind of like a pie, right? Or an egg. Okay. It looks like a pie, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to kind of identify opportunity. How many people have heard of Amway, Mary Kay, Avon, Nu Skin, Herbalife, Shackley, Juice Plus? We've all heard of all of them, right? Multi-billion-dollar companies, right? Let me ask you guys a simple question. If we could go back in time and get at the ground floor with those companies, would you get in? Yeah. I would. I'm telling you this, if we could go back in time and get involved in Mary Kay, I'm in. And today I would have pulled up in the pinkest Cadillac in the parking lot with no shame.
Let's try Apple.
Right? Think about it. Right? Just think about that. If I'm making millions of dollars and I was at the ground floor of Mary Kay, do you think I care that I'm driving around in a pink Cadillac? No. Those people don't care. They're making tons of money. But who made all the money in all those companies? The people that got it first. Right? And timing was the most important thing. So what I'm going to do here is that we're going to identify what opportunities should look like. So we all know if we could go back in time and get involved in all those companies, we'd all get in, right? Right? So I'm going to say this. The people that are here, that are guests, if you're looking at an opportunity, just in general, how many people feel like they have to believe in the product first? That's pretty important. The product is pretty important. But what I found out was that the product is important for longevity. Okay? But when you try to identify opportunity to see is it worth your time and effort to even get into, there's a couple key factors that I believe matter more. So let's say this. I chop Dave's arm off right now. And I give him a pill out of my pocket, and he takes it and grows his arm back. Are you guys in? Heck yeah, man. If you're not in on that, I don't know what else is going to excite you. I just grew his arm back, right? So if I have a pill that's going to grow limbs back, I'm pretty sure we're all going to get in. So when we leave here, we're excited. We say, man, I just got involved in this ground floor opportunity. We're going to grow limbs back. But then we drive home, and we drive by every single car and every single house, and they have a sign that says, I sell that magic pill. And we're going to make a U-turn, all meet back here and say, how are we going to get people to get that product from us? Right? So before the product, I believe one thing that matters the most, and I'll tell you this, if every single one of you guys have an opportunity, I'm pretty sure most of us will sit around and listen to it. Will I join it? Probably not guaranteed. But if you don't have the most important thing, I'll tell you this, I'm not in. If you don't have timing, I don't care if you're going to grow limbs back. If the world knows about it, I don't think any of us is going to put our time and effort into it. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So let's throw another twist. I got a product that's going to grow limbs back, right? And the world doesn't know about it. But the company doesn't even pay us a penny. Is it worth your time and effort to get involved in that company? No. It's temporary. If I see Dave missing an arm, I'm going to say, hey, there is a pill out there that'll grow that arm back. I'm not going to go out of my way, but I'll mention it to him. But it's temporary, guys. We all want to get paid for our efforts. If you work 40 hours, what are you expecting at the end of the week? You want to get a paycheck for 40 hours. If I sell a product, I better get paid for that product, right? So it's just something that we're all used to. We want to get paid for our efforts. So now we talk about if you don't have the second most important thing, which is a comp plan, I'm pretty sure none of us is going to get in. I don't care if it's going to grow limbs back, right? The third thing, which I believe is the most important thing for longevity, and I love talking about this one here, is the product. Now, typically, that product doesn't have to be a breakthrough product. It doesn't. It doesn't have to have science. It doesn't have to have all these peer-reviewed studies. As long as it doesn't go against your character, my morals, and your ethics, I'm pretty sure we'd all get in. But if this product's going to hurt people, I don't care how many millions of dollars you're going to pay me, and I don't care how much timing we have. I'm clearly not in if it's going to hurt people, right? And then the last thing, most importantly, when you identify an opportunity, is something called a system. The system would be the same thing as training, right? If I fall down, are you going to pick me up? If I have questions, who's going to answer them, right? So where's the guidance in behind that? The rest of the stuff is nice, but it doesn't matter. It's not gonna, alter your decision on getting involved. Like who's the corporate staff, and who does all the marketing and all this other stuff. These are things that are nice to have, right? But it's not important when you identify an opportunity. So now we took the opportunity test. Here's what it is. Here's the best part. You can take this and put it on any company. So let's go take Microsoft, Apple, Google, Facebook, and put it to test. Are we in at the perfect timing with any of those companies? No. What about the comp plan? If you invest $1,000, are you going to get a return on investment of $10 million like Microsoft paid out if you invested today? No. What about the products? They got great products. We all know about it, right? It's proven products. Their system, they have a system that's been in place for a long time. But take that opportunity test and put it on anything that you like. If that doesn't make sense for you here today, there's no point of getting involved in that company because it's not worth your time and effort. So what I did is I just identified opportunity, and this is what that opportunity test looks like. So now someone shared an opportunity with you here today, and someone brought you to this presentation so someone could share information with you. So that's exactly what I'm going to break down. So let's do this. If we could go back at the ground floor of any of those multi-billion-dollar companies, Amway, Herbalife, Nu Skin, Mary Kay, and we could be in the top 10% of those companies, we're in, right? Top 10%? Well, let me ask you this. If we're going to identify that top 10%, do you think those companies have just 100,000 distributors or a couple million distributors? They have a couple million, right? They've been around from 30 to 60 years. Okay, so if you take 2 million, 10% of that is 200,000, right? If we could be in the top 200,000 of any of those companies, I'll tell you this, you're at the ground floor. That means you get to watch 90% of that company's growth. How awesome would that be? Knowing those companies, obviously we're going to say that's pretty sweet, but we missed it, right? So logically, the guests that are in this room are thinking, well, how many distributors does this company LifeVantage have, right? 85,000 globally, 35,000 in the U.S., guys. When Fred sat down with me, because I met up with him that night at 9 o'clock, and I said, Fred, I'm in sales. Don't sell me on this. Share with me why I have an opportunity in this. And he did this same exact thing. He identified the opportunity and why he's sharing with me why I need to take a look at it. And when I looked at the timing, guys, it checked off for me. We're not in the top 10%, we're in the top 3% of a future multi-billion-dollar company. Now we get to watch 97% of the growth happen. All right? From a timing aspect, guys, this company's gone from $3 million a year to close to $250 million a year. And we've only been in business going on 6 years now. How cool is that timing? To get to watch 97% of this company grow, right? So that checked off. And again, this is something that you guys have to do. If you're a guest here, this has to make sense for you. If the timing's off for you and 3% is not good enough for you, there's nothing else I can share with you. But I can only tell you what an opportunity should look like. The second thing was the comp plan, guys. Typically, most companies pay out one way, right? If you work somewhere. This company pays out 6 ways, and it's residual income. If you don't know what residual income is, it's kind of like Michael Jackson and Elvis Presley, guys. They're not even here with us, and they brought in over $30 million last year. They did the work once, and now generations and generations get the benefit from that, all right? I like to break this analogy down. How cool would it be if everyone was using beepers, and I had the only cell phone, and I'm telling you about that. This opportunity today is ground floor, and we have something called a cell phone. You don't have to go to a pay phone. You can just answer the call and make it here, right? But when I explain residual, you want to know how are we going to make money in this. What if I told you you get 5% of residual of every time he makes a cell phone bill every single month? And him, and him, and him, and her, and him, and him, and her, and him, and everyone else in the world. If we're first to know about that technology and you got paid a residual, would you say that'd be pretty nice to have a 5% of every single person's cell phone bill every single month?
Yeah.
That's what residual is, guys. And that's what this company pays out. The company pays out 6 ways, and one of the ways is, again, residual. The other one is phenomenal. It is phenomenal. When you hit the 7th rank in this company, all right, they actually take a pie and split it up into 4. And the 7s, 8s, 9s, and 10s, 8s, 9s, and 10s, 9s and 10s, and 10s, this is 1% each share. Dave Brin, our newest elite distributor